Challenged Kathy Hochul to at least 5 debates. The first 2 debates that came up, CBS 2 put in a request and Pix 11, and I accepted both requests. I believe that we should have at least 2 televised debates here in the New York City media market. We should have at least 1 debate in the Buffalo or Rochester media market. We should have 1 in the Capital Region media market, and we should have at least 1 in the media, in all the other media markets. And I'd be willing to do a debate in every media market. I also believe that they need to take place, at least 2, prior to the start of absentee voting. And at least 3 should take place prior to the start of early voting. Kathy Hochul has not yet accepted any debate request. And if you ask her, she'll give you, oh yeah, we'll have a debate. This generalized statement. No, it's time to schedule this now because absentee voting is about to start in the next few weeks. Is this a game? You're not willing to acknowledge why people are leaving the state. People are asking you what your positions are on the issues that matter most to them. You won't talk about it, and you're telling us that we have to elect you to find out what you stand for. And every single day, more people are becoming victims of crime. People who had the entrepreneurial spirit, started their business here in New York, have decided, you know what, that's it, and they're gone. If the business can leave, they're leaving. People feel like their money will go further, they will feel safer, they will live life freer somewhere else. Now's the time. Every single day, every minute matters. So what we have here is Republicans, Democrats, some independents, and we, most importantly as New Yorkers, need to unify right now and do absolutely everything in our power to tell everyone we know, taking nothing for granted. There's a long history of New Era Democrats getting Democrats elected. But it wasn't about New Era Democrats getting Democrats elected because you're trying to be partisan Democrats. No. It was because we all have our passions. We all have our beliefs. There were races for different offices over the course of the years where you decided enough was enough, and at that moment you had to go all in to save a city and a state. Well, maybe that moment isn't any more important than what it is right now. And I want to work with all of them. I want to work with all of them. And even if there was somebody who wasn't here and they don't vote for me, I want to work with them too. Because if you want to be the governor of New York, you have to be willing to be the governor for all New Yorkers. Last, Celia was talking about losing too many of our young. It's not just our young boys and young girls, young men, young women. We're losing others too. When we're talking about 2 Mexican cartel drug smugglers and $1.2 million worth of crystal meth, these are stories that lead to the loss of life. And there was a massive settlement pot of money that came to New York. And people who were stakeholders, who were advocates, they lost their young son or daughter due to addiction. They were honored to be asked to be part of this task force. And the state is being very secretive. They're not having their open meetings. They're not planning on what they're going to do with all this settlement money. It seems like maybe they'll be given a very small part of the pot to decide what's the best way to spend it. But the rest of it, people in power want to just make their slush funds. If you want to tackle fentanyl, crystal meth, heroin, this is a moment for all of us to be able to not win an election in order to find out where a governor stands, not wait till January. There is a task force with members right now who have a mission, and they are not being empowered to be able to do their job. My daughter's turned 16 1 month from today. They start 11th grade this Thursday. There are people who have buried their sons and daughters, and they know that they did everything that they could. They constantly think, What else could they have done? There are great parents who are losing their sons and daughters. We could do everything right as parents and still find ourselves, God forbid, at a wake for a young child. Right now, while we are here, there are parents who are in this exact situation. And we all have to do everything in our power to combat this today. I call on this governor to get this task force operational fully today. They're there. They're ready to meet. They could be meeting tomorrow, Wednesday. Give them the entire pot of money from the settlement.